Good morning, this is Tom, Negotiating with Jesus. I was just watching a video this morning, and the point of the video was he was going to show you some ways to have fun playing your guitar. So I do believe you have to enjoy this, have some kind of goal, but also get some kind of pleasure. So this idea of short-term goals, that you receive a reward. So if you're a beginner and you're just learning chords, you want to finally get your chords down so you can play. What's that song that I always do? Let It Ride. Let It Ride, and I'll do a little bit of Horse with No Name. So what you want to do is get to where you're playing, and all of a sudden you get the rhythm and the timing you can get from chord to chord on time and start to feel like you're really playing the song. So in this one, I'm going to do all down picking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everything's based on 4 often. There's the 1, 2, 3 songs, that nice 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's some polka or whatever it is. Okay, so this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The chord changes between. Now, when you get good enough, you realize there is time, there's a space between chords. So I have a. So that metronome hand, the clock, you have to play in rhythm to really start feeling like that joy of music. So you have to be able to do it on time. So a couple songs. We're not going to do that. We're going to do Sean Daniels and Jules guitar. I put a link 2 days ago to Jules, and Jules was doing what I do. I think Jules is a really good player. I'm average. Sean Daniel, really good player. So if you want really good tutorials with people who really know what they're doing, click the link. Move on. I'm an average guy trying to up his game. So one of the shorts I saw today was, if you want to be, one of the things I wish I'd known when I was a young guitar player, it was a video talking to people, what do you wish you'd known? And some said, I wish I'd read music. Some said, I wish I'd known how to jam, how to solo. One person, a woman, said, I wish I'd known that you have to play every day. You have to play every day. So I'm doing this every day. I'm doing my exercises. So Jules, one of the things I liked about Jules was 2 things. He was doing the pentatonic scale. He said, practice this. So I am doing that. So yay for me. So I'm practicing a pentatonic scale. Jules, the thing I loved was he had the fretboard laid out and the notes shown exactly the same as his guitar. And then all the comments that people didn't like that it was backwards, because typically they have it as if you're looking at your guitar, you're looking at him and then looking at your guitar flipped. So the E string is on the top, the high E, and that low E is on the bottom. And I don't care for that. I loved that Jules had, his playing was exactly the same on the fretboard beneath him as the fretboard above him. So that, and everybody said no one does that. And I think people should do that. So I was, yay for me. I agree with Jules. I think everyone's doing it backwards. That doesn't make me superior. I'm just an average player. Jules, a good player. And then Sean Daniel. So just to end what I did this morning, I did my pentatonic scales, I did my one string exercise. I think you have to do your pentatonic scale in the positions. You also have to be able to jump between positions. And this is the key of G. So it's E, G, A, B, D, E. And I struggled naming notes. So I tried to do that out loud. Naming notes on the fretboard. D, E, B, A, G, E. So my pentatonic I usually do in C. Today I did C. I also did D. So in C, the last shape is that good shape that goes with the D position, encaged. But that sweet little run on top, that's in the D position. So today I practiced C, D, and E. The guitar is great. All chords move up. So if you practice the D pentatonic scale, it gets a little funky because this moves up too. That note is now, since this is an octave, this would be the nut if it flipped back over, which the guitar does here. This is an octave, and everything up is the same as it is at the nut. And all of a sudden you're below the nut. So you have to play. And that means this note isn't played. I could play the A, but it's this. So down here it gets a little funky. Then the E, which we're going to go to Sean Daniel's, the E exercise. So that thing that was here, for E, it's played up here. So C, D, E. So if this is the nut and we flip back around at the octave, acoustic, that's too high. We're not electric players that we're doing exactly the same type of smooth solos on electric guitar, which is, it's designed to play up here easily. And it's super great to play up here because the chords, the frets get close. So they're doing all this fancy finger work. The stretches aren't as hard. So the stretches here aren't as far. A stretch here, that's far. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can do these ridiculous stretches. So E. So the one below it, you start losing a lot of notes. As was my point was, as you do these exercises, when you get to the top, if you change keys, everything shifts. The octave comes back around. And sometimes then it's under the nut and you have to do some adjustments. Okay, now let's get back to Sean Daniel. So the thing that I'm doing with my Joy to the World, that is a scale played exactly the way G would be played. So it's the key of G, you're playing. You automatically go to the F sharp. That's the only sharp in G. Oops. The do, re, mi. The G scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. If you switch to D, you have two sharps. F sharp, there's an F, F, F sharp, do, re, mi, fa. That's a G. F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. D has two sharps. So if you're a piano player, you see two sharps, you know you're in the key of D. On the whatever at the end of the, whatever that's called, they do a time signature and they do the key. How many sharps, how many flats? A, E. So my point there is this is a revelation. I need to think about how to memorize notes or notice the easy ways to kind of pick up on music theory. Last thing is, Sean Daniel did a great little exercise, and I'm going to keep working on this. So if you're playing bar chords, you have to switch your fingers. Movable chords, you have to switch so that you can keep your index free. So being able to play chords with your index free and A minor, you switch it. That is something that you will get good at, because if you're going to play a B minor, you can't play it like this as easily. You want to switch. So, switching it up. Sean Daniel did an exercise which is the same as the L7. The L7, and that was somebody else, did the L7. That was in a link before. It's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sean is showing that on just the E string. But E, the great key of E, which is his key for 2025. The key of E. He said that to be funny. I don't think it's really his thing. E, the second one, is minor. 2 and 3 are minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a half step between 3 and 4. 5 is a whole step. 4 and 5. No, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are major. 1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 minor. Nope, 7 diminished. And there's a reason for that, and it's all of a sudden, boom, I understand what it is. And it has to do with what notes you're playing. I'm going to have to do this over and over for days. So we switch it up. Minor. But he said, let's just play these 3 notes. It's 5, 1, 3. This is the root. This is an E. This is the 5th. This is the 3rd. We learned that trick on another video as well. The 3rd is right below and in front of the tonic. The root, the 1. He said, just play these 3 notes. You can play everything else open. Minor. We're just going to play this. Oops, these 3. On a minor, you flatten the 3rd. A minor. Happy chord. Sad chord. Okay, as I'm trying to get this in my head. Minor, 3rd. Major, 4th. Back to the E shape, not the E minor shape. We're playing an E minor shape and an E major shape. You can play these open. Diminished. This is a strange dissonant chord that actually is part of this chord progression, a triad. So A, D sharp, F sharp. But it really feels like it wants to go to resolve on the E. Next to the major. What did I do here? Minor, diminished. That's something I'm going to be practicing just to get in my head how these shapes go. I did all my other exercises. I did my spider exercise. Making Pinky lead. Pinky needs to do some work. I showed you the 3 notes per scale. The L7. The major chords, 1, 4, and 5. Minor chords, 2, 3, and 6. Okay, that's all. That's a lot of information. And we're 19 minutes in. What in the world? Next time.